Hey, I'm Courtney Waterman, your tutor. Lover of anime, manga, and math. And you just tuned into another session of Tutor Me Sempai. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping into an 11th grade topic, completing the unit circle. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'll be putting time codes in for this video in the description box below, so use that to skip ahead to whatever part of the video you think is most interesting. As always, if you have any questions about what we saw today, or even your own homework, you can always put in the comment box below, or visit me on my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. At the end of this video, I'll be linking my 11th grade playlist in which I cover a lot more topics. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. This video is going to have 4 parts, so leave a like, smash subscribe, and let's get started! Due to the length of my last video on this topic, I felt like a shortened version would be very beneficial for those who didn't necessarily need a whole lesson, but wanted a simple review or a refresher. This video is going to be for you. Now, we'll still be covering the same exact methods that we talked about in the previous video, but we're going to be cutting out a lot of the fluff. That means we're not going to be spending as much time explaining what we're doing, but we're going to get right into it. However, at any point in time, if you feel like this video is going entirely too fast for you to understand what's happening, no worries. Check out my video from last week, you'll find it right up here. In that video, we take our sweet time explaining why we're doing what we're doing for each and every circle. Don't be lost. Check out that one, and that should help you get from point A to point B. However, if you're ready for this refresher, let's jump into our first unit circle for today, our radian circle. So for our radian circle today, we're going to be counting by 2 numbers. So for this video, we're going to be counting first by pi over 4, and then we're going to count by pi over 6. So starting at 0, this point 1, 0 is going to be our 0 radians. We're going to draw something right smack dab in the middle of our first quadrant. And this is going to be, once again, counting by pi over 4, pi over 4. So we're going to keep counting by pi over 4. So we're going to travel another half, and this is going to give us 2 pi over 4. Travel another half, and we're going to get 3 pi over 4. Travel another half, we're going to be down here with 4 pi over 4. Travel another half, we're going to get 5 pi over 4. Travel another half, down here, we're going to have 6 pi over 4. Travel another half, 7 pi over 4, and going back here, we're going to be at 8 pi over 4. So you see we're counting by pi over 4. However, we haven't simplified anything yet. So make sure you go back. If you're going to do it this way, make sure you go back and simplify what you can. You can't do that one, but you can do this one. 2 pi over 4 is going to be pi over 2. So this will simplify to pi over 2. This is going to simplify this 4 pi over 4 to just pi. You can't do anything with that one, nor can you do something with this one. 6 pi over 4 is going to be 3 pi over 2. And this 8 pi over 4 is going to be 2 pi. Now that we've counted by pi over 4, let's count by pi over 6. Now pi over 6 is going to be a little bit less than pi over 4. So we're going to be right here. And this is going to be pi over 6. And we're going to do the same exact thing. So pi over 6, we're going to go right here, 2 pi over 6. Right here is going to be 3 pi over 6. Right here, 4 pi over 6. Right here, 5 pi over 6. Right here, 6 pi over 6. Right here, 7 pi over 6. Right here, 8 pi over 6. Down here, 9 pi over 6. Right here, 10 pi over 6. Right here, 11 pi. Oh, did that again. 11 pi over 6. And here is going to be 12 pi over 6. Now, there's a lot we wrote here, but let's go back and simplify what we hadn't simplified. So pi over 6, nothing. 2 pi over 6, that's going to be pi over 3. Pi over 3. This 3 pi over 6 was just going to be pi over 2. And we already have that, so we don't need to write it again. 4 pi over 6, that simplifies to 2 pi over 3. Now we have our 6 pi over 6, which is just going to be pi. We already have that, so we don't need to do anything there. We have 8 pi over 6, which is going to be 4 pi over 3. We have 9 pi over 6, which is just going to be 3 pi over 2, so we don't need to write that since we already have it. 10 pi over 6, which is going to be 5 pi over 3. Then we have 12 pi over 6, which is just going to be 2 pi, which we already have. And after simplifying everything, this should look very, very similar, if not exactly the same, as your unit circle for your radians. So let's jump into our next one, our degrees. So now we're in our degree unit circle. And the thing that you need to remember for this circle is 30, 15, 15, 30. That's our pattern to fill this in. Now, you know that we're going to have our 3 connections here. In fact, we know that each quadrant has our 3 connections. So you can just easily just go ahead and put all of your connections just like this. Now we're simply going to apply our pattern. So we're going to start here. This is our 0. We're 0 degrees. Make sure you put your degrees there. 0 degrees, up 30, 30 degrees, add 15, 45 degrees, add 15, 60 degrees, add 30, 90 degrees. You see, keep doing that. Add 30, 120 degrees, add 15, 135 degrees, add another 15, 150 degrees, add 30, 180 degrees. Now, add another 30, 210 degrees, add 15, 225 degrees, add another 15. Let me write this a little bit lower so that we're not running into each other. It was 0, -1. So add another 15 for this one, and you get 240 degrees. Add 30, 270 degrees. Add 30, 300 degrees. Add 15, 315 degrees. Another 15, 330 degrees. And back here at 360 degrees. 30, 15, 15, 30. And that's how you can easily fill in your degree unit circle. Start at 0, add 30, add 15, add 15, add 30, repeat. So now we cover our degree unit circle, let's jump into our last unit circle for today, our value unit circle. So for our value unit circle, remember, we're only going to be using 3 numbers, but it's going to be repeated in various ways depending on what quadrant we're in. Those quadrants are going to determine if they're going to be positive or negative. And we're going to do a lot of mirroring, just like you'll see here. So you can start by making the same 3 intersections. 1, 2, 3 in every quadrant. They don't got to be perfect unless you got something to make it perfect. Now to get started, we're going to be in quadrant 1 and we're looking at the x value. So 0 to 1. And I'm going to fill it in this way. So from 0 to 1, we're increasing it 1/2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2. Put a square root over everything in the numerator. And we're going to do the reverse. From 0 to 1, we're going to increase it this way. So 1/2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, square root over everything in the numerator. And we get rid of our square root over the 1 because square root of 1 is just 1. So now we have our points, and we're going to replicate these points everywhere. Now, this is going to be a simple mirror. So everything should be mirrored on this side. We're going to mirror it over. So this point goes here, and we're going to say 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. This point goes here, so that's square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Same thing here, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. However, we're not in quadrant 1 anymore. Quadrant 2 has some negatives that we have to take into account. Our x's should all be negative now. So put a negative sign in front of all your x's. This is a negative 1/2 now. Negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 3 over 2. Then we're going to replicate this down here, except without the negatives. So we're going to do this one here. So square root of 3 over 2, comma 1/2. That's the first one. Then we have square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Then we have 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. However, this is the third quadrant now, which means that we have everything negative. So make sure you put that negative in front of everything. Now we're going to be in our fourth quadrant, so we're going to mirror it over here. So this one goes here. So this is going to be 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Once again, we're leaving the negatives alone until we figure out the last step. We're just putting our points here. The next one is going to be square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. And our last one is going to be square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, 2. And because we're in the fourth quadrant, the only thing that's negative is our y's. So we put a negative in front of all of our y's. Now, this should be reflected. This is the same point as that, except our negative on our y. So it means we are doing the right thing. This is how it looks when you fill out your unit circle for your values now. So I hope you were able to follow along with today's examples, and I hope you found this review/refresher helpful. However, if it was too fast, remember, go back to my last week's video. That one, we go a lot slower, and it should be a little bit more your pace. If you did have any questions about what we saw today, or even you on homework, remember you can put it in the comment box below, or visit me on my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. If you haven't done so already, remember leave a like. It really helps the channel by letting YouTube know that you found the video helpful. And if you found the video helpful, so can someone else. So leave a like, hit the notification bell, smash the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend. That's all the time I have for today. I really hope this helped with your homework, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. I'm Courtney, this is your playlist, and this has been another session of Tutor Me Senpai.